Welcome back. In the last video, we looked at the area of a triangle and how it can be used to find total areas of figures that we can divide into triangles. Okay, let's do a couple more examples. Alright, so here I have, it kind of looks like I have 3 triangles, but really I can do this in just 2 triangles because I can think of this as one big giant triangle. I'm going to call that triangle A. So to find the area of triangle A, it's going to be 1/2 its base times its height. So the base of this triangle, of this whole triangle, is here, 12, and the height is here. And I know that's the base and the height because I can see they come together at this right angle. Okay, so 1/2 of 12 times 10, half of 12 is 6, and 6 times 10 is 60. Or again, remember you could multiply these first and then divide by 2. So you could do 12 times 10, 120, divided by 60. And my units here are inches, so it's 12 inches times 10 inches, so the inches are written as squared. Again, that square has no effect on this number 60. If you write this as the answer 60 squared without the word inches in between, it is wrong. So make sure you don't put a square after the 60, you put a square after the units. Okay? My second triangle then, triangle B, right here, is going to be my 90-degree angle is here. So my base and my height are going to be, it's kind of like it's upside down, are going to be here and here. So my area for triangle B is going to be 1/2 the base times the height. And we can just turn it sideways like this and say this is my base and this is my height. My height we can see is 6. My base doesn't have a number on it, but since I have a 90-degree angle here and a 90-degree angle here, this shape here must be a rectangle, which means if this side is 10, then the opposite side is also 10. Okay, so I've got a base of 10 and a height of 6, or we could turn it all the way upside down and say I have a base of 6 and a height of 10. It doesn't matter, you can do it either way. And I get 1/2 of 10 times 6, which is 30. And then remember we are doing area, so it's squared, but the square does not go on the 30, the square goes on the units, inches squared. Okay? So now to find my total area, all I have to do is add those two together. The total area for this figure is going to be 60 plus 30, which is 90. And remember, since it's area, we do square units. We don't put the square on the 90, that's wrong. We put the square on the units. Okay, so my total area is 90 inches squared. Okay, all right, our last one here is going to be kind of a lot to look at. Okay, but we can do it. We're going to do it like one step at a time. And you can pick to start either here and work your way around this direction, or start here and work your way this way. I tend to like to work towards going to the right. So I'm going to start here and work my way to the right. So I'm going to call this first triangle, triangle A. I'm going to do the area of triangle A equals 1/2 its base times height. So the base is 3, and the height, where remember they have to come together at that 90-degree angle, is also 3. 1/2 of 3 times 3, 3 times 3 is 9, half of that is 4.5, and since we're doing area, we use square units. The square does not go on the 4.5, the square goes on the millimeters. Okay? Let's look at the next triangle. My next triangle we'll call B. And if we were to think of this sideways, if I have a 90-degree angle here, I also have a 90-degree angle here. So my two sides together come together at the 90-degree angle are going to be these two. So when I do my area of triangle B is 1/2 its base times its height that come together at the 90-degree angle, which is going to be 3. And this side here, which matches the one across from it, 3. So it's the same as the last one, so it's still 4.5 millimeters squared. Okay. All right, moving on, we're going to go to triangle C. All right, for triangle C, I see my 90-degree angle is right here, so this is my base, and this is my height, or vice versa. My area of triangle C is 1/2 its base times its height. The base is the same as this one, 3. But the height we're going to have to figure out, so I'm going to look across the way and see. I don't have anything everywhere that matches, but I can see I go 4, and then I go 2. So 2 and 4 together mean the whole height here is 6 units. So 1/2 of 3 times 6, 3 times 6 is 12, and half of that is, 3 times 6 is 18, and half of that is 9. And again, it's area, so we're using square units. The square does not go on the 9, the square goes on the units. Okay? Let's look at the next triangle, triangle D. This is where we start getting a little interesting because triangle D is not a right triangle. It's an obtuse triangle. I have an obtuse angle there. Okay? So I see if I use this as the base, the 9, if that's my base, area of triangle D equals 1/2 the base of 9. I have to figure out what the height is. So the height, remember, if I go from my 2 ends of the base, if I go across to the other corner, so if I'm standing up here and I drop something, how far does it have to drop before it's equal with D and makes a 90-degree angle there? I mean, not with D, with the base, and makes a 90-degree angle there, where I can see it has to fall 6 units. So 1/2 of 9 times 6, which is 27. And again, it's area, so we use square units. The square does not go on the 27. The square goes on the millimeters. Okay? All right. Next, triangle E. Okay? So for triangle E, the only side I already know, again, it's not a right triangle. It doesn't tell me that there's a 90-degree angle here, so I can't just assume that. But I do know that this side is 4, so that's going to have to be either my base or my height, which means I'm going to need a side that hits that at a 90-degree angle. Okay? So my area of triangle E is 1/2. We're going to use that 4, and we need to figure out what is the length that hits that at a 90-degree angle. So I'm going to turn it sideways so we can try to figure that out. Okay? If I turn this sideways and I put my fingers at the ends of the side that I know, and I go up to the other side, so now I'm standing here, and I'm going to drop something straight down. How far does it have to go before it's even with the base of triangle E? Well, it's not going to drop that whole 14, right? Because 14 takes me all the way to here, but I'm only going to here, so I'm going 2 less than 14. So this length that it's going to fall is only not 14, but 14 minus these 2, so that is 12. Okay, so that distance there is 12. So I'm going to do 1/2 of 4 times 12. 1/2 of 4 times 12 is going to be 2 times 12, which is 24 millimeters squared. Because again, the square does not go on the 24, the square goes on the units. Okay? All right, let's look at the next triangle. We'll do this whole triangle here, ignore my little dotted lines there, and we'll call it F. It's this whole triangle. Okay, triangle F. 1/2 its base times its height. Okay, so now the base of this triangle, I don't know this side or this side, but I do know this whole side of that triangle is 14. Okay, so I'm going to go with my base is 14, then I'm going to turn it upside down so that I can look at that as a base. Okay, to find my height, I'm going to put my fingers at the end of the base, and I'm going to go across the sides that are not the base until they meet. And so now I'm standing here, and if I drop something, how far does it fall? It's going to fall 2 units. So the height there, where it hits at 90 degrees, is 2. So 1/2 of 14 times 2, which is 14. Because 14 times 2 is 28. Half of 28 is 14. Also, we can kind of notice this 1/2 and the 2, those will cancel out, right? If you divide 2 by 1/2, or if you divide 2 in half, you get 1, so 14 times 1. And my units are squared. The 14 is not squared. The millimeters are squared. It's just to tell you what type of millimeters they are. Okay? All right, we have one triangle left, and then we're all done. So my last triangle, FG, triangle G, area of triangle G is 1/2 of, let's see, so my base here, it's a right triangle, so that makes our last one nice and easy. Our base is going to be 2, and our height is going to be 2. So 1/2 of 2 times 2, that's 4. Half of that is 2. And again, our units are squared. The 2 is not squared. The millimeters are squared. Okay? So we found all of our individual triangles. Next, what we need to do is we need to find our total area. Okay? And we're going to do that by adding together the 4.5, the 4.5, the 9, the 27, the 24, the 14, and the 2. So when I do that, let's see, 4.5, 4.5 plus 9 plus 27. Oops, I did 1.5 in my calculator. 4.5 plus 4.5 plus 9 plus 27 plus 24 plus 14 plus 2 is 85 units. So 85, and then remember it's area, so it's squared units. The 85 is not squared, the millimeters are squared. All right. Hopefully that's good practice for you on finding area of triangles and then using those areas to find a total area of a given shape. Okay? Thank you so much for watching.